Hey, welcome to Koki Wrestling. My name's Ethan Ramos, and today I'm breaking down a spar match I did a few months back. So when you wrestle somebody that's smaller and faster than you, you typically don't want to work on using too much of your strength, your power, and your size. For me, I really take it as an opportunity to focus more on being creative, to focus on being faster and being more technical. Now, if I spar with somebody that's bigger than me, then I'll do it in reverse. I'll try to focus still on the technical side, but a little bit more on the strength and the power so that I can learn how to power through guys in a technical position. Now today I'm breaking down a flow spar I did with a highly skilled, very fast wrestler that I had the pleasure of wrestling with in college named Nick Lorette. Now because of the size difference, I couldn't rely on my strength too much, so I had to work on using pure setups. But as you're about to see, he was able to counter some of my scrambles. He was able to time my reaches and made me pull out everything, even a high amplitude lat drop. So let's get to it. Let's break down the tape. Alright, so for this first action, what's really going on is I'm going for a cross wrist pull to get that foot that I'm ending up shooting on to be able to just be stuck in its place. So as he's going for this thumb block on this side, I'm reaching, grabbing that wrist. I pull to my far side leg. I pull laterally and down. That keeps his foot cemented, and then that allows me to drop down and grab that ankle pretty easily. Now as I'm pulling, I'm dropping at the same time. So it gives the appearance of being fast, but it really is just the timing and the pull right there. All right, so right here, he goes for that thumb block. I go for that wrist grab, cross body. I pull it down, and I'm level changing as I pull it down, and then that brings his leg up and kind of concretes him right there. And then all I'm doing is just level changing, dropping right into that ankle. And then from there, all I'm doing is shelving it, so I'm grabbing at the ankle, lifting it, getting on my far leg, and then just coming up with it, trying to finish backside. Now for this position, I'm trying to focus on getting to my elbow tie, and I'm going for a far lefty high crotch. Now this is pretty far, and it's because my timing's off a little bit on this. So I go to the collar tie with my back leg side, and so I'm reaching, go for the collar tie, and then I kind of drop my head and my hand right to his tricep side, going for that elbow, and then I'm gonna push it across towards his midline so I can create this angle. Is that I do end up creating the angle. Right, so head and my hand is on that tricep side, and so I push it across the body. I get that angle, and what I should have done right here is set my feet and go at this position. But I wait a little bit and I take another step, and that's when I shoot. Now the reason it ends up working is because I didn't end up diving. And so so even though it's kind of a far shot, I'm still trying to finish it like a high crotch. So I'm using my head to push his body away. But he does a good job at clearing the hand a little bit, getting his arm in the way, and fighting hands. And so from here, just finishing it as a single and pulling that hip down. Now this is like a very subtle thing that you might not notice, but what he did right there was he just dropped down to quick low ankle. And for me, what I like to do is a lot of times I'm a little bit slower on reacting on those low ankles, right? So something that I've developed is just dropping my hand down, and it's not just a down block, it's also that palm is out, so that way even if he does grab my ankle, I could just grab his wrist and just pull it up, and it's a lot easier to defend it that way. So, and you'll see he ends up doing it later, and he does it a lot actually, and it clears off a lot of the single leg attempts. So I'll rewind it a little bit. Let you see that in slow-mo. So he drops, my hand goes down and palm out. And I just pull that up. And what he does good is he's gonna follow it up, faking with the other hand, making me step back on that anyway, getting me to think about that side even more. And then he's gonna follow it up with an outside high crotch as I reach with my other hand. Watch this. Boom. Hits that real nice. And he's gonna find the angle real good too. So he's got his ear on my hip right here. He drops his hand to my his outside hand to my low calf, and he hits that angle real clean. So show that real quick in fast motion. Boom, nice and clean. Now here, all he did was he timed my reach again. So on this position, he's making me reach. So I've already established contact with him, and so he's gonna snap me down with the hand that I'm reaching. So I'll show you real quick. So as I reach, he's gonna elbow pull to kind of snap me off. Right there. And then he knows that it's gonna come back, but first I clear off his hand so he doesn't bite on that. As soon as it goes and he reaches, he goes right into that elbow. And he's trying to go for a far side ankle pick here, or cross pick. And he ends up getting the bite pretty good. Now if he let it develop a little bit and had a tighter grip on the ankle, he probably could have had a full cross pick right there just by and finish it with me dropping down to my hip. But because he has a little bit less of a bite, I'm gonna turn in and he's got to pick it up. And so he does a good job finishing it anyway, and making that a pretty clean setup. I'm just moving. I'm trying to get some different angles. Get him thinking. And right there, he just goes for that collar tie. He's gonna grab that wrist, try to shuck me by to hopefully trip me. That's probably what his game plan was right there. So probably the size advantage helped a little bit there. So I just drop my arm into an underhook here. He clears, and then he goes for that 2-on-1. So again, he, like the last time, he's getting me thinking about one side, and then he goes right to the other side. Does real good with this, and so gets to that 2-on-1. And typically, I'd like to grab actually the top hand. I find that if you grab the top hand, like if he's got this arm, and typically what people like to do is fight here, or they'll grab on the wrist. But I find if you grab the top hand, that's usually the arm they're gonna attack with. You know, if I got this 2-on-1, I'm grabbing this wrist. Typically, I'm gonna grab a single leg or whatever, or the waist or whatever, with this arm, right? So if I got this arm locked up, right, then it's gonna be harder for him to attack, and typically they'll just let go. But for whatever reason, I'm kind of pushing on the head here, and so he just shucks it by, gets behind. I'm blocking, so it's not a clean takedown, so he ends up just dropping for a good double leg right here. We're just joking about kind of the hand side to side motion, trying to get him off the track and find some angles. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to move a little bit better. Get some good pulls. Get my underhook to a knee pick, I think there. Hard to tell. Now this is gonna be like just kind of a scramble. Not really a scramble, but I'm just doing a lot for my knees, but just to get you in the into my mindset, really. So I go for that elbow pass, miss it, end up on my knees, And so all I'm thinking is I'm trying to get him to come closer to me to be able to close the gap and find a clean shot right here. So I'm doing fakes, and then I'm going for the pulls. And when I can pull his head and his hands come down, that allows me to be able to get closer to his legs. So that's where you'll see a fake, and then I get a pull, get the hands down. Immediately I'm able to get to that leg right there as he pulls back. But like I said before, he does real good at getting that wrist down and hand out. So he just right away clears that leg, clears that hand off his leg by getting that wrist and pulling up right there. And so he goes for a sprawl right here, and then I just end up in an underhook, and then I go for a cow catcher. So from this position, I got the underhook here. I'm just trying to get my hand to the inside of the head so I can pull it down and punch that cow catcher right there. Or cement mixer, however you call it. And then he just limped arm out, so he kind of concedes a takedown right there. Got the 2-on-1 here. Right to that single leg, right to 4 points right there. Now, the idea here is one thing I like to do as well is I like to try to also get him thinking about one side and go the other. So one way I found was if I grab a wrist and I fake for a drag, then I can make the single leg come out a lot easier. And it really helps if you actually are pretty good with the drag. But in this position, it's kind of modified in that way because I have the other wrist and I'm on a 2-on-1. But as I have that 2-on-1, he goes and he grabs that wrist that I have. So say I have it here. This is the wrist that I got, and this is his arm. He's grabbing this wrist, and so I kind of reach for this this drag almost as if I'm gonna actually go for it, and then he pulls that leg back on that side, and that makes his other leg come back, stay heavy on this side, so that makes it a lot easier for me to just drop down for that single leg. All right, so here's that 2-on-1. Right here you see he's gonna grab that wrist, and then I go for the other side. He pulls that leg back right there, and then that allows me to just get a quicker and easier bite on that near side leg. I elevate right away, go right to his waist, get my head in his stomach, and that allows me to go get that 4 points. So it kind of looks like he's going for a double here, but then he kind of hits it like a high crotch. Either way, I end up catching that arm on the high crotch. And so in this position, I'm seeing that far side leg right there. So I grab it, and he just limps arm out, and he tries to turn into me, which is a good idea. Because I have that leg, I'm trying to bump him down to his butt, and then I want to ideally cover his chest with my hips by just kind of floating them over. But at the same time, he's got my ankle as well. So in this position right here, he does fall to his hips or to his butt. And I'm thinking, because I couldn't really see at this point, that he exposed, but he obviously doesn't. So when he has my ankle there, I kind of just belly out and kind of concede that point. All good, give and take here. Trying to find those angles, elbow passes. I'm busy with the hands. He goes for a 2-on-1. Boom. Nice little single right there. So this kind of action starts off with he's going for an elbow tie, high crotch. And the way that I block this is my legs staying light, so it's kind of just floating up in the air. But I'm also dropping my elbow down on the other side and kind of pushing his arm away that he's gonna reach with, and that stops that high crotch. And he pulls my head down, so it's kind of like what I did before to get to his leg. He ends up pulling my head down and going right to that single leg. And in that position. Then I reach for that drag, even though I really don't have it. And he just pulls and finishes the takedown. So that's kind of something you should think about if you're on your knees or you're recovering from a shot. If you could just pull the head down and get their hands on the mat, it's a good shot that you can be able to get that single leg just by reaching right after their hands hit the mat. Now, if you're getting value out of this video, please like and subscribe and keep watching for more. Now, he kind of telegraphed that he's gonna go for that that outside step high crotch again. Let's see, or maybe it was just a high crotch. Let's see. No, it was outside step, yeah. So he telegraphed like he's gonna go. Didn't commit to it. But now I'm gonna reach and he's gonna time it. So I reached the one time, he knows it's gonna come. So about to reach. No, not yet. Right here. And goes right into it. And what he does really good here is like something that I like to do if they get a little bit lower on this, I'll try to push their head down below my knee and kind of pivot. What he does good is he just doubles off right away. So he locks up and he gets me to lose my balance. And so kind of as a last ditch effort, what I'm going for right now is a chest wrap. So I catch both of his arms. And ideally what I would do typically is I'd like to get my legs out a little bit, not tight together here. And I want to get his head in the center of my my stomach. And then I want to kind of get my hips a little bit more into him, get his head further down, kind of play around with this until I get enough where I can be able to hip in a little bit and then scissor kick my legs out to be in a sprawl position or throw him for that chest wrap. This position, I really didn't have enough leverage on that. So I ended up just going for the tip, get that tip and end up in a underhook here and get my legs back. And then right here, all I'm doing is kind of relaxing, which is silly, but he ends up getting a good snap, go behind. Kind of just chill here, a quick snap. And what he does really good actually right here is as he's coming around, even though he's going for the waist, typically what I would say is if you're gonna go for the go behind, I would usually say, hey, go grab the thigh or the ankle. But he's going for the waist, and I would typically say not to do that. But because he's blocking the arm here as he goes around right here, it ends up not being a problem because he's fully behind. So, and it makes it hard for me to be able to even lift up my arm to be able to catch one of his legs. But just keep in mind doing that, you still need pressure on his hands so that he can't lift up the hand to be able to catch your leg as you're spinning around. Now this is a move I really like that I learned from watching Logan Stieber. One of the Pan Ams that I went to years back, I remember watching him and he was losing, I think like 8-0 or something like that. And all of a sudden he started grabbing this cross wrist, faking, pulling for a quick, easy takedown, and then sometimes he'd fake, pull, get that leg kind of stuck, and then he'd be able to get to that single leg and then finish it. So since then I've been working this and I've really loved the move. I think it's great. And let's kind of break it down a little bit from the start. Okay, so like I said before early on, sometimes I'll do it from a thumb block, right? So I'm here, he's thumb blocking this side, I'll grab that wrist, right? Here we just kind of interlock the hands and I just grab the wrist. And so instead of just having a quick pull, I'm gonna kind of have a light touch on his scapula right here. And then I'm gonna fake to that same side. And what you see is that it got him kind of pushing into me. So there might be two reactions that you might get. One might be that he pulls that leg back, and the other one might be that he pushes his body forward. Now, because he pushes his body forward here, now if he pushes his leg back, then I could just have a quick pull, easy go behind. Because he pushes his body forward to block me off, I have to kind of readjust. So I go right back to that light touch on that scapula here, and then I keep my foot still, and now his foot comes right to me. All I have to do is drop, and it's an easy snatch. Right there. So let's do it again. Fake, pull, fake. Or not fake. Fake, pull, right to the drop. And then I'm just going for that treetop finish. I'm pulling the hip down. Snap into a single. Elbow pull to the single. So that's something I like to do. Is another thing I'll do is if they're reaching, I'll sometimes pull and hit a single, or sometimes I'll pull right to a double. In this position right here, I ended up pulling right to a high crotch after I missed a single leg. So I'm trying to make them think about one side and go to the other side. So let's see that again. So snap, pull, I will pull to that single, I miss. Kind of doing it again, but without this step to the single, and go right into that high crotch. But again, it's still kind of far, right? Because he's doing pretty good with his positioning here. Still kind of far, but I'm getting a good bite. And so from here, my positioning is pretty decent, even though it's far, because my head's higher than my butt. And so I'm just reaching down for that ankle to straighten him out. And then he does a good job getting it back, clearing, goes right into a boom. Yeah, and then he goes right into a sprawl, and so then we're in that head-to-head position. Now this, what I just did right here, I love this combo. And it kind of starts off with a move that I believe I learned from it being hit on me. I think it was with Zahid Valencia. I just remember I was on my knees, I reached, and boom, got hit with a slide by. And I realized that if you're on your knees and you're reaching, you can be in serious trouble. So I started working that, and this is kind of where it came to be. Now, I also realized that if you do it and you don't get a good enough bite, typically what happens is they end up in a underhook. And so if I fully step behind, my leg will be behind theirs, and I could just fall right into a lat drop. So this is where you see that. So I go overhand tie, hand goes right up to the elbow, and I have to come up quick here and try to circle laterally. And then as you see, my leg goes and blocks, and as he got that underhook, I drop to his far side armpit. Go for that lat drop. Yeah, I just love this combo, so give it a shot if you can. And it wasn't the cleanest finish, but that one felt good to get. Right into that single. And so for this technique, all I'm doing here is I'm grabbing that wrist to the same side that I'm gonna hit that single. So it's similar to the cross wrist pull to that single, but I'm just doing it on the same side. So sometimes I'll pull, drop right into a single, and then hit the outside from there. And then sometimes I can hit a sweep single from that. So what you saw there is a sweep. So let's just kind of break it down a little bit. So I grab that wrist, kind of pull here, and then I drop right into that single, and then I'm hitting a quick sweep right there. Now in this position, I like to keep my hands above the knee if I can, but I got around quick enough to be able to get my knees behind. So I shelf, come up, finish backside. So that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. If you got value out of this, like and subscribe. If there's something that you do want to see, please leave it in the comments so that I can know and I can be able to make you something that will give you the most value. If there's any techniques that you like the most out of this that you want me to break down in more detail, please also leave that in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching.